Hello and welcome back to another breaking news update. My name is Jimmy Boyd and you were watching Boyd News. I want to thank you so much for tuning in today. I've got some breaking news coming out from Israel to share with you. We've got some information that's just over the last couple hours. Hezbollah has been firing well over 300 rockets into Israel, and it looks like their response to the killing of their top military commander, Fuad Shakur, who was taken out in an IDF airstrike last month, is finally being carried out now. Okay, so we know that lots and lots of rockets and drones have been flying into Israel. This is video footage coming out from Israel with the Iron Dome taking down tons of these rockets. I think just in this salvo alone, there was at least 70 that were fired. So I've got lots and lots of video footage to show you guys, and I literally just put out a video earlier letting you guys know that Israel was worried that there was going to be an attack coming from Hezbollah in the coming days, and it actually ended up happening tonight within just probably 3-4 hours from the time that I released that video. So we have Israel carrying out massive preemptive strikes all over Lebanon right now. We've got lots and lots of video footage of heavy bombings taking place. And we've got Israel carrying out these airstrikes to try to prevent these attacks from happening. But Hezbollah is still launching hundreds of drones and rockets into Israel right now. So I want to go ahead and jump into the news here and start sharing some of this information with you guys. We'll watch this video here in just a little bit as well. But I've got this report first up from The Informant. Hezbollah says that it has begun its response to the killing of the terror group's military commander, Fuad Shakur, in an IDF strike last month. In a statement, Hezbollah says it launched several explosive drones at Israel, targeting military sites. Al Arabia reports that more than 100 rockets have also been launched at northern Israel from Lebanon so far, over the village of Sold. Israeli Air Force warplanes were spotted carrying defensive sorties against Hezbollah UAVs. In Gonin, northern Israel, a UAV launch by Hezbollah was spotted landing and exploding in a road. So first up, we've got some video footage that was just starting to take place at the beginning of this attack. So just letting you know, we're going to kind of bounce around a little bit. We've got some information that's newer and some information that's a little bit older, but I want to kind of show all of it to you guys so you can kind of see the overall effects of these attacks taking place. So what we're going to see here is lots of drone action and some Israeli warplanes as well taking down some of these drones over northern Israel. So let's go ahead and jump into this and take a look at it. Okay, so our first video, we can see a Hezbollah drone flying into Israel and not being intercepted yet. And from what we know, they definitely launched a lot of drones. We don't know how many were fired, but we know that well over 320 rockets were fired into Israel so far. So let's go ahead and check out our next video. So as we can see, it's definitely been a major war zone in it, especially in northern Israel over the last few hours. We can see this drone flying over, and then we can also hear those Israeli warplanes flying over this person recording as well. So the Israeli warplanes, you could just see one of them right there launching some flares. They were trying to take down all these drones and these rockets that were coming into the country. As far as I know, the U.S. has not been involved in this. It's mainly just been the Israeli Air Force taking action here and getting up into the skies and shooting down these drones and rockets coming in, and also carrying out massive airstrikes inside of southern Lebanon, and as far as I know, pushing into northern Lebanon as well. So one more video to take a look at. Let's go ahead and see this as well. Okay, so I don't know if you caught that here, but this drone definitely crashed into what appears to be some road. We could see that explosion right over there next to the road. I don't know if it was targeting a vehicle or what was struck over here. We don't have any reports of anybody being injured or anything in these attacks yet, which is really, really good news. But definitely that drone crashed into something right there next to that road, which is very dangerous, not too far away from this person standing here recording this. So let's go ahead and keep moving to our next report here from Vicegrad 24. IDF just launched preemptive strikes on Hezbollah Israeli military spokesperson says IDF detected Iran-backed groups' preparation to fire missiles and rockets and is acting in self-defense. Special situation declared on home front. All flights have been redirected from Ben Gurion Airport. All departures from Ben Gurion Airport have been canceled. Okay, so this was a little bit older information that came out probably about an hour, 2 hours prior to the time that I'm recording this. And what we knew, they were redirecting flights from the Ben Gurion Airport, which is one of their major international airports inside of Israel. And they pretty much canceled all flights for right now. But I'm hearing that somewhere around 7 a.m., so that the Ben Gurion Airport might be back open, and they might be allowing flights to continue coming in and also leaving. But they did declare a special situation right now, and this is supposed to be going on for the next 48 hours. And very, very big news here, guys, okay? So let's go ahead and keep talking about this some more. Check this out from Times of Israel Alerts, live update. Hezbollah says it fired 320 rockets in recent attack, targeted 11 northern bases. Okay, very, very big attack here, guys. I mean, definitely one of the biggest we've seen probably since April, whenever Hezbollah, along with Iran, carried out a massive attack onto Israel. So 320 rockets minimum fired and 11 northern bases targeted in this attack, okay? And this was some of the most recent information that has come out probably in the last 20 minutes that I record this, okay? So also, from the informant, more than 70 missiles fired from Lebanon so far. Attacks continue. The third Lebanon war has started. If anyone is there, take care of yourself and be close to your family. So we've got this video footage that I had up for you guys on the waiting screen when you came in, but let's go ahead and take a look at it with some sound.
Whoa, whoa. Whoa, 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 whoa. Willow. 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 اطلعوا برا اطلعوا.
Okay, so what we're seeing in this video is definitely dozens and dozens of rockets being fired, and we can clearly see the Iron Dome is definitely working right now. At least in this area, it's taken down majority of these rockets, if not all of them. It looks like it's intercepting them, so that's good news to see. And I've got lots and lots of more video footage coming out just like this, so let's go ahead and keep going. The informant reports again, Israeli netizens publish a video showing the destruction of a Hezbollah UAV mid-air by an Israeli Air Force warplane. The Hezbollah terror group says it has fired more than 320 rockets at northern Israel in the past few hours, along with several explosive-laden drones. In a statement, Hezbollah claims to have targeted 11 military bases in northern Israel. So take a look at this as well, 16 seconds. So in this video, we can clearly see a drone being taken down mid-air in the skies over northern Israel, probably an F-35 or one of their F-15s shooting this thing down. And this is what we heard a lot of, aside from them carrying out massive preemptive strikes inside of Lebanon. They are also using their warplanes to shoot down these incoming drones and missiles into their country. So also from Vivid, nonstop sirens and explosions for the past 60 minutes. This is absolutely insane. A special situation has been officially declared. It's war, pray for Israel. Okay, so I don't know exactly if we're going to see a war situation here. It's very possible. I haven't heard any information as to if Israel's going to be declaring war on Hezbollah or what's going to happen here, or are they just kind of defending themselves in the meantime because they were expecting this attack to take place. I don't really know those details just as of yet. But we do know that for sure a special situation has been declared for the next 48 hours. So we don't know what that could turn into. It could definitely turn into war or some sort of major military operation on the northern front in Israel. We'll have to see what happens. So also from open source intel report, the Saudi channel Al Hadath reports that Hamas has rejected the American proposal and firmly opposes any Israeli presence along the Philadelphia axis and the Netzarim corridor. Okay, so this is big news as well. I've been waiting to hear on whether Israel and Hamas were going to be able to come to some sort of ceasefire deal, and it looks like these talks are falling through right now. Okay, so this is very dangerous too, because we heard from Iran not too long ago, maybe in the last week, that if Israel were to fail in these talks with Hamas, that they were going to attack them, and if they were appearing in any way that they were basically stalling or trying to buy time and not be serious about these ceasefire talks, that they were going to attack them. So are we going to see Iran now respond as well, now that we're hearing that these ceasefire talks are basically falling apart? Okay, so also from the official X account of the State of Israel, in a self-defense act to remove these threats, the IDF is striking terror targets in Lebanon from which Hezbollah was planning to launch their attack on Israeli civilians. IDF spokesperson Daniel Hagari regarding Hezbollah's plans to attack Israel. So we've got a 1 minute and 41 second update from IDF spokesman Daniel Hagari. So take a look at what he has to say regarding the situation.
A short while ago, the IDF identified Hezbollah terrorist organization preparing to fire missiles, rockets towards Israeli territory. In a self-defense act to remove these threats, the IDF is striking terror targets in Lebanon from which Hezbollah was planning to launch their attacks on Israeli civilians. This follows more than 6,700 rockets, missiles, and explosive UAVs fired by Hezbollah at Israeli families, homes, and communities since October 8th. Hezbollah will soon fire rockets and possibly missiles and UAVs towards Israeli territory. We will shortly update the Homefront Command defensive guidelines for those in Israel. From right next to the homes of Lebanese civilians in the south of Lebanon, we can see that Hezbollah is preparing to launch an extensive attack on Israel, while endangering the Lebanese civilians. We warn the civilians located in the areas where Hezbollah is operating to move out of harm's way immediately for their own safety. Hezbollah's ongoing aggression risks dragging the people of Lebanon, the people of Israel, and the whole region into a wider escalation. Israel will not tolerate Hezbollah's attacks on our civilians. We are operating in self-defense from Hezbollah and any other enemy that joins in their attacks against us. And we are ready to do everything we need to defend the people of Israel.
Okay, so that's the latest coming out from Daniel Hagari, letting us know what's going on in this situation over here. And if you notice, he said they were carrying out preemptive strikes, and they had information that Hezbollah was preparing to set up their rocket launchers and their drones and things like that. So Israel's constantly monitoring the skies over southern Israel, and that's how they knew this was coming. I mean, we've seen various video footage coming out of F-35s in the skies over Beirut. I mean, they have full control over the skies of Lebanon, and they know what Hezbollah is doing at every moment. And obviously the U.S. is right there, so I'm sure the U.S. is monitoring the situation as well and backing them and giving them intelligence. So because Israel knew this strike was about to be carried out, that's why they started launching preemptive strikes inside of southern Lebanon to prevent many of these attacks from taking place. But what we can clearly see is lots of rockets and drones still coming into Israel, although they were carrying out these preemptive strikes. And they're supposed to be carrying out multiple rounds of this as well. Last I knew, they were carrying out their second round of preemptive strikes inside of Lebanon. So take a look at this from Mossad commentary. The IDF is carrying out severe attacks across southern Lebanon. So this came out probably about an hour, maybe 2 hours ago almost, at the time that I record this. But we had video footage coming out from southern Lebanon from these preemptive strikes. So let's go ahead and take a look at these as well.
بيتحون.
All right, guys, take a look at that. I mean, absolutely massive, massive airstrikes going on in southern Lebanon at the time where this video is recorded. You can hear some sort of girl screaming in the background too. I mean, these are very, very heavy hits. And I also saw some live camera footage earlier as well, probably about an hour ago at the time that I record this, and it was just nonstop explosions all over the southern side of Lebanon. So definitely Lebanon getting hit very hard. We got one more video to take a look at.
طلع الحرب.
ورا 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 هناك لمعت.
بقول لك طلع الحرب.
شو هذا يا حسين؟ محمد.
في غارة.
مصطفى في شيء هناك ورا.
طلع الحرب.
Okay, so in this video, we can definitely see some sort of major bombing campaign. I don't know if this is secondary explosions. Maybe this was another weapons depot that was hit inside of Lebanon, because we see a lot of explosions in that area. We don't hear any warplanes in the sky or anything like that. So I don't know if this could potentially be a weapons munitions depot that's being destroyed, and that's why we're seeing all these flashes right now. So very, very big hits inside of southern Lebanon right now, guys. Let's go ahead and keep going. Now we're going to talk about Trey Yingst. He's a chief foreign correspondent for Fox News, and he gives us an update coming out from Israel as well. It says, new Israel is launching a preemptive strike campaign against Hezbollah. Here is the latest information we have from the Israeli military. So go ahead and take a look at what he has to say as well.
This is breaking news. The Israelis are launching preemptive strikes against Hezbollah positions in Lebanon. I want to read you the statement that I've just received from an IDF official. It says, quote, the IDF identified the Hezbollah terrorist organization preparing to fire missiles and rockets toward Israeli territory. In response to these threats, the IDF is striking terror targets in Lebanon. The statement goes on to say Israeli Air Force fighter jets are currently striking targets belonging to the Hezbollah terrorist organization that posed an imminent threat to the citizens of the state of Israel. This is an important part of the statement. It goes on to say, following the strikes and in accordance with the IDF Homefront Command's situational assessment, life-saving guidelines for the public in certain areas of Israel will be published. The Israelis certainly bracing to see what the response from Hezbollah will be. These are uncertain moments for the region right now. And again, it comes as negotiators are on the ground in Cairo trying to hammer out the details of a possible ceasefire agreement to end the war in Gaza. Reports indicated Hezbollah might try to wait until Hamas said they were unwilling to accept the current agreement on the table. Again, tonight, the latest information that we have, Israeli fighter jets are currently striking Hezbollah positions inside Lebanon. I'll keep you updated on the latest.
All right, so definitely very scary, right? I mean, this could be the beginning of something big, and I know I've said this many times, and a lot of times we don't see major responses coming out of these attacks, but I mean, this war between Israel and Hezbollah has been going on for quite a while now, and Hezbollah attacks Israel almost every single day. Even before this attack took place, they launched sometimes hundreds of rockets in one day into northern Israel, and you know, at some point they're going to have to go to war with Hezbollah, and we could be seeing the beginning of that right now. So it's definitely very scary and worrisome for the entire region of the Middle East, and hopefully we don't see a wider war breaking out, but this could be the beginning of it, definitely. Also from Trey Yingst, we can hear the roar of Israeli fighter jets over Tel Aviv, okay? So this came out roughly about 2 hours as well at the time that I record this. And again, we were already hearing that in videos as well of Israeli fighter jets flying over Tel Aviv, flying over everywhere, especially in northern Israel, and carrying out these defensive maneuvers, preemptive strikes, lots of different things. The Israeli Air Force is definitely very busy right now. So let's go ahead and keep moving here to the informant. Interceptions in the city of Nahariya, northern Israel. There have so far been no reports of injuries following the repeated rocket and drone sirens across northern Israel since this morning, the MDA says. So 20 seconds, take a look at this as well. All right, pretty insane, guys. I mean, just that salvo right there, that's got to be at least 20 or 30 rockets coming from multiple directions. We've got a launcher right here sending dozens of rockets into Israel, and then also we can see over here to the right side, we've got rockets flying this direction as well. So definitely a very, very massive attack from Hezbollah into northern Israel. Also, from Mossad commentary, the IDF has started its second wave of attacks, this time deep in Lebanon. Okay, so like I said, they're carrying out multiple waves of these preemptive strikes to try to prevent many of these attacks from taking place. And last we knew, this was about an hour and a half at the time that I record this, that we were last hearing that a second wave of attacks were being carried out by Israeli warplanes deep into closer to northern Lebanon, probably the Baalbek region. The Baalbek region is like northeastern side of Lebanon that is very under Hezbollah control, and they have a lot of weapons stored in that area as well, and that's also where they receive a lot of their weapons that come in from Syria, also from Iran. Very, very big hits, like I said, being carried out right now. Vicegrad24 says it's going to be 48 hours of extraordinary situation across Israel, warns Yoav Galant, the Israeli defense minister, as IDF launches preemptive strikes against Hezbollah. Okay, so based on this information, what's going to happen here in the next 48 hours? Yes, Hezbollah has carried out this attack, and maybe it's starting to slow down right now. Maybe the attack is for the most part over from kind of based on the situation that we're seeing right now. But what's going to happen after this? Is Israel going to respond back? I mean, they've already come out and said that they would respond to any situation, not only defend themselves, but they were ready to go on the offensive as well. So we may see this war kick off now that Israel's at the point where they just don't mess around anymore. The minute they come under attack, they hammer everybody. We saw this happen with the Yemen Houthis just a few weeks ago. So we're going to have to see how Israel decides to deal with this. And at some point, this could definitely drag Iran into the picture here, and they could get involved. And also these other Iranian proxy groups around the Middle East, like in Syria and Iraq, and also the Yemen Houthis. Okay, so let's go ahead and keep going. Vicegrad24, Israeli Prime Minister Netanyahu is set to convene the Security Cabinet. So I believe this was supposed to be taking place somewhere around 7 a.m. And if I'm not mistaken, I think it's close to 8 a.m. over there in Israel right now. And the Security Cabinet could be ongoing right now and discussing details on what they're going to do with the situation. So as soon as we get information coming out from the Security Cabinet, I will definitely update you guys on that. So also from the informant, Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu and Defense Minister Yoav Galant are currently stationed in the IDF's underground command center known as the Pit, located at the military headquarters. A brief statement from the Prime Minister's office indicates that they are managing the situation in the north. Okay, so here's a couple photos of them inside the Pit. There we can see Benjamin Netanyahu and Yoav Galant. Okay, so they're definitely trying to deal with the situation the best they can. And that's what they're stating coming out from the Prime Minister's office, saying that they are managing the situation in the north right now. Okay, so that's the latest we have from that. Also from Moshe Schwartz, Tamir interceptors firing off in northern Israel. And I believe these are Iron Dome interceptors. Just 4 seconds. Take a look at this, taking down some rockets coming from Hezbollah. Okay, so just a very short clip there. We can definitely see these interceptors taking off, heading up into the skies over Israel to try to intercept some of these rockets that are incoming to their country. So crazy to see that, guys. I mean, there's just so much video footage and evidence coming out from this attack, and it definitely is on both sides a very heavy attack, okay? Not only from Hezbollah, but we know Lebanon is taking serious hits right now. So from the informant, again, dozens of locations in southern Lebanon, including Shams, Tir Harfa, and Der Saryan, sorry, let's pause that for a second, have been attacked. Israeli Prime Minister Netanyahu is in Kuria, where he has been meeting with Defense Minister Galant and security officials to discuss a potential preemptive strike. Meanwhile, the Israel Defense Forces Home Front Command has instructed residents of the Upper Galilee region and areas near the Lebanon border to stay close to shelters. So this was some of the first information that was just starting to come out. And the Israeli warplanes were already up in the skies over southern Lebanon bombing, and we've got more video footage coming out regarding that too. So let's go ahead and take a look at some of these attacks taking place in southern Lebanon. Okay, so again, this video is very similar to one of the ones I showed you guys earlier where that girl was screaming. we again hear these multiple bangs, bang, 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 like 2 or 3 hits at a time. So I don't know if these are maybe Israeli warplanes dropping multiple smaller munitions at once and kind of trying to destroy targets in a certain area. But we're definitely hearing lots and lots of bangs back to back there. So let's go ahead and move on to one last video here. Okay, so this video clearly shows a massive bombing campaign being taken place in southern Lebanon as well. I mean, look at all these lights flashing over here. So very, very massive attacks again coming from these Israeli warplanes trying to take out these attacking positions from Hezbollah that are preparing to launch drones and rockets into northern Israel. So finally, I've got one last thing I want to show you guys here real quick. Our last update from Times of Israel Alerts, live update, flight set to resume at Ben Gurion Airport starting at 7 a.m. So from what I understand, maybe these flights are back online, but who knows? It all depends. Maybe Hezbollah will carry out some sort of attack again. But now that it is daytime over there, we probably won't see this massive attack still taking place. Generally, when these things happen, it's always at night. But it would not surprise me if Hezbollah carries out more attacks again today. So that's going to be it for this update, guys. Just wanted to share some of these details coming out from Israel. So we're going to have to see how Israel responds. Is this thing going to turn into a major war over here? Or is Israel going to kind of just cool their jets and just say, hey, we defend ourselves again and just call it a day? I have no idea what's going to happen yet, but I do personally believe that Israel is going to strike back and they're going to hit Lebanon very hard, probably starting today or sometime in the next 24 hours. We will probably see a massive blow to Lebanon at some point, and this could be the very beginning of a major war breaking out over here. That's why I want to warn you guys about that. We don't know for sure if this is going to be the case, but definitely the Middle East is a powder keg that's waiting to explode, and we're just waiting for all these other countries to get involved. And this could definitely turn into a very serious and dangerous situation. So let me know what you think down below. That's going to be it for this update. If you got something out of this, please smash that like button. Also, if you enjoy my content, please consider subscribing down below. Hit the notification bell. That way YouTube can notify you. And with that, hope you all have a great day. Everybody take care and God bless. And we'll see you in the next one.